It is time for Newsroom. You're watching Maisha Television Kenya. My name is Rida Kering Chebet. We've got a lot of stories from the country and across our borders lined up for you. First, let's have a look at our top stories.
Mimi natoa shukrani sana kwenu kwa kuniombea mimi. Mimi nitasimama imara. Nikienda katika bara la Afrika, nitafanya mambo laini sawa sawa vile nyinyi mnajua tabia yangu.
Is to focus on both intra-Congolese dialogue amongst the parties in the DRC and also in the dialogue between DRC and its neighbors, more particularly with Rwanda.
Wenye maagizo wa polisi walifika wakaanza tu kupiga kufyatua risasi nini juu, lakini kuna askari mmoja alikuwa ameelewa, so during the process alikuwa na shoot can ni juu, sijui ali lose control ya ulevi ama nini, akaanza kutupiga marisasi.
Sisi tuko kwa Kenya gani ambaye askari wanakuja kutupiga na hatuna makosa kama wananchi? Sisi tunauliza haki yetu.
Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has said that he will accept the outcome of the African Union Commission chairperson elections scheduled for Saturday. Odinga, who is vying for the AUC chairmanship, the election set to take place on Saturday, February 15th, during the ordinary session of the heads of state meeting in Addis Ababa. Speaking at the Bomas of Kenya on Monday, where he addressed ODM leaders and women enthusiasts, Raila said he will graciously return home if he does not win the election. Joy Madoya has that story. Check it out.
Nikichaguliwa sawa. Nisipochaguliwa sawa.
The battle for AU chair position entered its last stretch this week, with the final vote expected to take place on 15th of February. After a trail of campaign mission backed by President Ruto's government, Raila Odinga and his allies were optimistic that the veteran politician would clinch the seat. Raila's campaign secretariat, co-chaired by former ambassador to the United States, Elkanah Odembo, and Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Korir Sing'oei, has estimated his bid has the support of at least 28 nations. Raila has failed to become Kenya's president 5 times, but now he stands a chance to walk head held high if he wins the coveted African Union Commission chairperson seat in few days. Africa's head of state are scheduled to pick Moussa Faki Mahamat's successor during the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of the Head of States and Government. It will be held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on February 15th and 16th. Raila will face Djibouti's Foreign Affairs Minister Mahamoud Ali Yusuf and Madagascar former Foreign Affairs Minister Richard Randriamandrato. Pundit says Raila's biggest threat is Djiboutian candidate who is believed to have the backing of Muslim and Arab countries.
Raila Odinga works well, campaigns well, goes through the process well, lakini hapo kwa mlango hapo. Wakati tu the gift is here, Raila stretches his hand to take it. That's when it is taken away. So that thing, I think Raila Odinga should deal with it. Issue ya Raila si kwamba he is a bad person or he doesn't campaign or he doesn't do things right. Vitu upotelea tu hapo kwa mlango. I don't know whether it is spiritual. I don't know whether it's physical. I don't know whether it's by design. I don't understand. Raila Odinga loses things, opportunities right at the door. Hapo ndo mtungi upasuliwa. Hapo. And I'm talking, a good example is 2007. Hey, kitu ilienda. Tarakanisi. Kitu last minute. And that's dangerous. That's how Raila Odinga has been losing stuff. And there is a pattern to back this up. A pattern. When you notice a pattern in your life, deal with it. Deal with the pattern. It proves that there is an altar just working against
At
you.
the Bomas of Kenya on Monday, Raila Odinga and his allies gathered for a prayer rally to seek divine intervention for his win.
Ondoa vizuizi vinavyoweza kusimama kinyume chake, vilivyoinuliwa na wanadamu, vilivyoinuliwa na mapepo, vilivyoinuliwa na kila aina ya uadui. Viondoe siku ya leo katika jina la Yesu. Na tunatangaza ushindi sio tu kwa ajili yake, bali kwa ajili ya maono aliyobeba, ambaye amezunguka nayo Kenya mzima, amezunguka nayo dunia mzima. Miaka na miaka amebeba maono haya. Baba, kwa wakati huu tunaomba, hebu mfikishie safari yake, apate ushindi huu katika jina la Yesu. Tunabariki mama wetu ambaye ni mama wa taifa na ni mama wa mataifa. Zidi kumbariki na zidi kumwinua Bwana. Zidi kumpa nguvu na neema ya kumlinda mzee wetu na kulinda nchi yetu na kulinda bara la Afrika. Tunaomba Baba, kama vile umempa neema, wacha neema hii iinue Afrika kwa kipindi atakachokuwa kiongozi. Acha rasilimali ya Afrika iweze kuinuka. Bwana wa majeshi, hata mbingu katika Afrika ifunguke. Neema yako ishuke na uweza wako uonekane. Tumeomba ya yote tukimwachilia na baraka za mbingu na nchi, kwa jina la Baba na la Mwana na la Roho Mtakatifu.
Figure Raila would only need to win over a few more nations to secure a first-round victory. Going by the figure, Raila would only need to win over a few more nations to secure a first-round victory. The chairperson is elected by member states, excluding countries under military rule. Out of 55 African countries, 48 AU states are eligible to vote.
Kura itapigwa Jumamosi hii ambayo inakuja. Sio? Mimi naenda. Mimi naenda. Nikichaguliwa sawa. Nisipochaguliwa sawa. Sivyo? Si mimi niko na imani kwetu. Kwa hivyo mimi natoa shukrani sana kwenu kwa kuniombea mimi. Mimi nitasimama imara. Nikienda katika bara la Afrika, nitafanya mambo laini sawa sawa vile nyinyi mnajua tabia yangu. Tunajaribu kutatua shida ya bara ya Afrika. Mambo ya elimu, mambo ya matibabu, mambo ya miundo msingi, mambo ya viwanda, mambo ya usafirishaji ya bidhaa na ya biashara, yote tutaimarisha, na mtaona yale ambayo sisi tutafanya. Tutafanya pamoja na viongozi wote wa bara la Afrika. Kwa mimi natoa shukrani sana kwenu. Leo sitaki kusema mambo mengi zaidi, manake leo nyinyi mnaombea mimi. Si mnaombea mimi? Sio? Naenda kwenye kinyang'anyiro, sio? Sivyo? Mimi nina hakika tutakienda pale kwa kiongozi ya Mwenyezi Mungu tutafaulu. Tukishinda tumefaulu. Tukishindwa tumefaulu. Sawa sawa? ODM.
The new AU chairman will be faced with the enormous task of tackling Africa's high poverty levels, unemployment, runaway debt, insecurity, illiteracy, poor health services, and energy needs, among other issues. A staunch advocate for Pan-Africanism, Raila has outlined an ambitious vision for the continent. He has pledged to accelerate Africa's development and enhance the continent's self-reliance, unity, and sustainability. News from Maisha TV. Joy Madoya.
Thank you for that report. And former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has condemned the recent series of abductions, torture and killings across the country, saying it is a time they came to an end. Speaking during a prayer service to seek divine intervention before he travels to Ethiopia to participate in the African Union Commission chairperson seat, Raila stated that it is not in his nature to let evil prevail, calling for an end to the abductions. At the same time, to what appeared to be endorsing Sakaja for second term, Raila said that he wanted the leadership in Nairobi to support Sakaja as he works to deliver on his mandate. The ODM party chairperson Gladys Wanga and Makadara MP, who is also the ODM Nairobi chairperson George Ladwa, had earlier advised him to ditch the ruling UDA party in favor of ODM, which enjoys the highest support in Nairobi city.
ODM, ODM, ODM. Nataka Nairobi ibaki imara. Nataka Nairobi ibaki namna gani? Ndio huyo kijana yangu huyo ashikilie na afanye kazi sawa sawa. Si sawa sawa hiyo? Sivyo? Yale maneno maovu ambayo yanafanyika hapa tumepinga. Mimi mnajua kwamba siwezi kuona maovu na nikae kimya. Hii mambo ya kuteka watu nyara, kushika vijana na kuenda na kuzuia na kuua mpaka ipishe katika taifa letu. Hatuwezi kuvumilia kamwe watu wanatekwa nyara hovyo hovyo. Hawa watu ambao wanateka watu nyara ni watu gani? Ambaye askari nasema hawajui. Kama askari hajui, haiwezekani kuwa na polisi. Tumesema mambo ya abductions ikwishe katika taifa letu. Ikwishe. Shetani. Asanteni sana.
Away from that, the President William Ruto has emphasized the urgent need for measures to address the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Speaking at a press conference in Nairobi after meeting with the foreign ambassadors, he highlighted the agreement reached during Saturday's meeting in Dar es Salaam between the East African Community and the Southern Africa Development Community to initiate talks between the DRC government and M23 fighters. Additionally, another meeting is anticipated between the DRC and Rwanda to further address the crisis. Ruto reiterated that dialogue is the only viable solution to end the violence. Bushebi Jr. tells us more.
Leaders from Eastern and Southern Africa called for an immediate ceasefire in Eastern Congo, where rebels are threatening to overthrow the Congolese government. Rwandan-backed M23 rebels have taken over towns near Congo's capital, putting the country's president at odds with Rwandan officials and other leaders. A summit of African leaders to address the crisis in the Democratic Republic of Congo has directed army chiefs to meet within 5 days and provide technical direction on an immediate and unconditional ceasefire. The meeting, which came to a close in Tanzania on Saturday, brought together the leaders of the 8-nation East African Community and 16-member Southern African Development Community. The number of African leaders who attended the summit included key players Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, who turned up in person, while the DRC President Felix Tshisekedi joined by a video link. Getting them into a room together was always going to prove difficult, but leaders there also from Zimbabwe, Somalia, Uganda, Zambia, and Kenya's President William Ruto were in attendance. And let's take a listen to what President of Kenya, William Ruto, said.
We stand together to call on all parties to actualize the ceasefire, and specifically on the M23 to hold further advancement and the armed forces of DRC to cease all retaliatory measures.
The DRC wants sanctions on Rwanda and the withdrawal of troops, but Rwanda denies its forces are supporting M23. It claims it's defending the threat on its own border. The summit has now concluded with a call for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire within 5 days. African leaders saying army chiefs will meet to arrange this. The DRC, as you can see on this map, has many borders, including borders with Tanzania, Angola, the Central African Republic, and to the north, South Sudan. The UN has already raised concerns about the humanitarian situation. Take a listen to the Secretary General Antonio Guterres' address.
We have countless reports of human rights abuses, including sexual and gender-based violence, forced recruitment, and the disruption of life-saving aid. The humanitarian situation in and around Goma is perilous.
That call for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire within 5 days is certainly a fragile glimpse of a resolution. It is, though, a very short time frame, and while that was the summit's conclusion on the ground, we know that the M23 group is advancing, marching south to other potential flashpoints. President Ruto on Monday later maintained that Kenya remains a committed partner in ensuring regional and international peace and security is achieved.
Having two concurrent processes running parallel creates unnecessary competition, creates avenues for forum shopping, and many other things that undermine the ultimate goal of these processes. So we agreed that these processes should be merged into one.
In an annual address to heads of mission and international organizations, Ruto stated that the escalating wars in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo shall be Kenya's focus until stability is effected.
We also agreed that we should expand the space for facilitators, so that instead of having one facilitator, we will have 3 facilitators. And we are in consultation between me and my co-chair on identifying the additional facilitators so that we can provide a more robust mechanism and energize the whole process of mediation in the DRC.
He noted that agreements made in the merged Nairobi and Luanda processes, an EAC-led regional peace initiative aimed at resolving the conflict in the region, should be honored.
And number 3 is to focus on both intra-Congolese dialogue amongst the parties in the DRC and also in the dialogue between DRC and its neighbors, more particularly with Rwanda.
Ushabi Jr. Newsroom, Maisha TV.
Thank you, Bushebi. In a statement made on Monday, President William Ruto has addressed the recent mission to Haiti, emphasizing that it had fallen prey to widespread misinformation concerning the availability of funding. The head of state clarified that the narrative surrounding financial support for the mission was not only misleading but also detrimental to the efforts aimed at assisting the Haitian people. Ruto's comments come amid growing concerns about the accuracy of information being circulated, which he believes undermines the critical work being done in Haiti.
On the matter of Haiti, I think both Canada and the United States have spoken to this matter. There was information that wasn't correct about funding for the multinational security support mission in Haiti. As you all know, there is a lot of fake news all over the place. And this mission to Haiti became a victim of one such incorrect information about the status of funding for Haiti. And as has been confirmed, because of the centrality and the importance of peace and security and stability in Haiti, all parties agreed that this is one intervention that requires all our support. We have resources in the UN Trust Fund that will support the mission. The US has also committed to waive the pause that is going on funding with respect to Haiti, and their support for all the other military capabilities will continue, as has been said by the charge from the US.
A section of political and religious leaders from Rift Valley region have hit out the opposition for opposing government projects. The leaders have said that the government led by President William Ruto has been making efforts to ensure the projects benefit all Kenyans without discriminating against any region.
Ipe nafasi kidogo, isiwe kila mara asubuhi jioni, mkesho kutwa, mkesho mwezi huu, mwezi unaokuja ni siasa. Kuna nafasi ya kila kitu, tufanye kazi.
Vile president wetu kila wakati anazungumzia maneno ya unity, broad based government, kuleta kila mtu pamoja na hana ubaguzi yale yote ile. President anabagui yule mtu yeyote yule, analeta all communities Kenya mzima ili tutembee pamoja, ili tujenge Kenya yetu mpya.
Na tunataka kuwaambia hao kwamba Kenya sasa we are one. Kwamba hii Kenya ni ya yetu wote, na rais tunashukuru kwa kuleta usawa katika nchi hili letu, taifa hili letu. So that Kenya hii yetu tupaki kuwa kitu kimoja na kila mtu apate usawa wa huduma wa serikali.
Kuna hatua nyingi tu ambazo zimepigwa kwa serikali hii ya Kenya Kwanza tukiongozwa na Daktari William Ruto, na tunajua kwamba miradi mingi ambayo umetupangia kama wa Kenya.
Watu wetu wa area hii wana haki ya kupata maendeleo. Sisi tunalipa ushuru na tunajua vizuri vile tutaendelea kuengage na national government, na zile barabara, zile miradi zote zile tumeahidiwa ama zimetangazwa katika area hii, sisi kama viongozi tutahakikisha zinafanyika.
Na tujue kwamba Wakenya wote wanalipa ushuru na tuko katika nchi ya demokrasia. Huyu akibishana na huyu, yule ambaye atapata nyingi ya shinde anafaa ahudumie Wakenya wote kwa usawa. Si kusema sasa mimi hawa walinipa kura nyingi nitawapatia vitu mingi, hawa walinipa kidogo nitawapatia kidogo. Na huo ndio mjadala ambao sisi tumekataa na rais amekataa. Na kwa sababu anaona kwamba rais anapeleka maendeleo sehemu zingine labda ambao hawakumpa kura nyingi, ndio inamkera na kuunda vuguvugu la kugawanyisha Wakenya kwa misingi ya kikabila ama region.
Moving on, the bulletin, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki on Monday held a consultative engagement with elected leaders from Kiambu County. Professionals, economic sector stakeholders and the grassroots leaders were also present at the meeting. Kindiki said that the consultative engagement touched on priority development projects and implementation of national government programs.
There is a difference between politics and leadership. There is a difference between transformation and populism. President Ruto has said many times, if the transformation of Kenya will cost his popularity, so be it. So be it. As his principal assistant, I also want to make the same statement, that if assisting the president to deliver on the transformative programs I have told you to make Kenya better, if in the process we become unpopular, both of us, so be it. It is not the length of time that a leader stays in office that matters. What matters is the consequences of somebody's leadership, however long or short they have been in office. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Si Moi alitawala miaka 24. Si Kibaki alikuwa miaka 10. Si Uhuru alikuwa miaka 10. Sasa hii ya Ruto amesema he doesn't mind how long he serves. Kwa kuna watu wamekazana sijui 1 term, 2 terms, 3. That's not the issue. The issue is what he does with the time he has in his hand. Hiyo mambo ingine si namna hiyo. Yeah, so watu wasitishe watu hapa sijui na sijui nini, sijui term, sijui nini. Transformation is costly, it is painful.
In a significant development for rural electrification, Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi has officially launched a project aimed at bringing electricity to the communities in Mugirango North, South, Nyamira and Kitutu Masaba. The initiative, implemented by the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation (REREC), is set to connect over 580 households to the power grid, along with more than 58 testing stations and other public areas. The local residents and leaders have urged the government to ensure equitable access to these services, highlighting that many regions in North Nyamira still lack electricity.
Nimeambiwa ya kwamba Nyamira bado iko nyuma in terms of rural electrification. Na hiyo ni kweli. Hiyo ni kweli kabisa. Na hiyo ndio kazi ambayo mimi niko nayo. Kazi ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba Nyamira imetoka mahali iko na imeenda mbele. Sawa? 620 million shillings has been put aside for purposes of electrification in this county alone. Hii county ya Nyamira.
Tunajua stima saizi is an essential facility that we should have. Ni kitu ambao tunastahili kuwa nayo kila wakati. Vile umesikia wengine hapa wanasema it's digital, mashule zetu zinataka hiyo, hata manyumbani kwetu tunataka hiyo, hata watoto wakati wanarudi kutoka shule ni lazima wapate mwangaza ya kutosha ili waweze kufanya masomo yao.
Kuna buying center 5 kwa eneo. Nyanda za juu ziko 3 na nyanda za chini ziko 2. Zote zinahitaji stima.
Moving on with our bulletin, the government has issued a warning to cosmetic clinics operators providing medical services without adhering to regulations. The Health Secretary, Public PS Mary Muthoni, cautioned that a crackdown on these clinics will persist and those failing to comply with the law will face closure. She made these remarks during a graduation ceremony in Nakuru County.
Clinics or the beauty spas that are there, already we have inspected quite a lot. We know there are 3 that are in the process of registration and others were just operating illegally. We directed that those clinics must be closed immediately, and we shall continue inspecting so that we also do not continue losing people in the name of beauty. If you have opened a massage parlor, please ensure that it is doing that work. Massage only. Do not have invasive procedures in the name of beauty. That procedure must be operated in a well-registered, licensed, and with people with the skills to do that procedure. So therefore, let us not confuse. And very soon, we are going to list down, to give the list of all the approved clinics to do invasive procedures in this country. If you look at statistics, generally, 8 million people die every year out of tobacco-related illnesses. And in Kenya alone, 2.5 million people use either tobacco products, novel products, and these are very alarming details. Again, we need to realize that tobacco-related illnesses are a major cause of death. and especially respiratory diseases, talk of cancers. And that is why it is important to note that if there are new products in the market, then either we must ascertain the content of those products, and we equally must control the labeling, the marketing of those products in the market, so that they do not hoodwink our children, the youths, and many other people who may not be knowing what exactly they are.
Kisumu's Education Chief Executive Committee member John Awiti.
Get ready for unforgettable season with the most compelling news on Maisha TV.
More than 3 people have lost their lives following an early morning.
We have curated an incredible lineup of news that is incisive, accurate and bold.
Alright, so let's now shift focus to...
You can catch all these from the comfort of your own home or through our online Maisha TV Kenya platforms. Your remote control is your gateway to a world of news, and remember, Maisha TV is your ultimate companion. Choose us, tune in, and fall in love with the experience. Get the whole story.